Hi everybody, my name's Jason de Wilde and I'm the head of audio at AIM. Today's micro lecture, we're going to be talking about a little bit of housekeeping actually, about how to save a complete copy of your Pro Tools session and then make potentially some adjustments along the way as you're doing a copy. One of the times where this has happened is when you might be working with a system that is version 8, which is the latest version of Pro Tools. But you might be also going to be taking it home to another studio that has a lower version of your session. So we want to be able to have that ability to be able to change from one studio to another. So what we need to do to the Pro Tools session is we need to actually convert it down to a lower, or save it to a lower version. The other thing that this can also do is we can also change the file format, or for example, if you have an old thing that is WAV but you want to turn it into an AIFF, this same feature will do that as well. Let me just show you how that's done. Here we have our Pro Tools session, and if I'm now saying, right, okay, this is now the version 8 thing of the session, so what I'm going to do now is save it as a different version. We go to the File menu, and here we have the usual save, which saves the actual session. Here we have a save as, which can show us how to save it under a different name. But the one we're going to look at now is save copy in. So as I do that, I'm going to choose that. Okay, and this dialog box comes up. In session format, we can choose whether we want the latest version or any choice of a number of different versions here. So I'm going to choose version 5.1 to 6.9. I've got a studio somewhere that's got a very, very old version, so I'm going to change it under that format. Okay. At the same time, we can also change the file type. So this particular session is a WAV, under a WAV, but I can choose to change it as an AIFF or an SD2, which is the old DigiDesign files. So I'm going to now change it to an AIFF, and I can also choose whether I want it to remain as 24-bit or go to 16-bit. So I'm going to choose 16-bit to keep it in line with CD quality here. So here I go, and I'm now going to simply click OK. You also got at this point some other items to copy, so if we had video files, plugin settings, etc., we can copy all those as well. So Pro Tools gives you a number of options there. I'm now going to click OK, so we're saving the copy, and it's now asking me where I would like to put that and what title I would like to give it. So I'm going to leave it as copy, I'll just talk of this, Waking Hours, that's actually the name of the song, and I'm going to give it a different date, today's date, and version 5.9. Okay. I'm not going to save it in the audio files folder, and you've got to be a little bit careful sometimes when Pro Tools does this. It tries to occasionally put it into some folders that you don't expect it to be there. So we need to always double check on that window where it's going to be going. So I'm going to actually put it into here, the Lesson 1 folder. And this is actually where my original one is now, just here actually. So I'm now going to put it into this part here. So all we now do is choose Save. Alright, it's giving me a little bit of idea about the types of things that are in version 8 that now aren't in version 6.9. And it will then, if we want to continue that, we just go OK, yeah, and away it goes. So what it's now doing is it's taking the entire session with all the audio files, it's reconverting them to AIFFs, and then saving that with the session document into the new destination. This takes a little bit of time, and obviously the larger the sessions are, the longer this will take. This one's relatively short, a couple of, probably about 2 gig or 3 gig, so it takes a little bit of time, but it won't be that long. Whilst this is very, very important because you can use this if you have a very, very old Pro Tools session. So for example, if anything from sort of like the mid-90s, where they were only using SD2 files, you could upload a SD2 type session and convert that into a WAV or an AIFF. So it works both ways, going from a lower version up and from upper version low. Pretty soon this will now finish. It's just going to take a couple more seconds. It's very important, as always, to remember where you're actually going to put this session, because a lot of people, when I've seen them do that, they end up saving the copy into the audio files folder or some bizarre spot. They need to not pay, they weren't really paying attention as to where it will go. Okay, so now we're done. It's all finished. We're still actually in our original session. So what I'm going to do is now just close that down. Quit Pro Tools. Oops, that's rewiring there. Okay, quit Pro Tools. Save my changes. Okay, and you'll now see that in lesson 1 here is the original copy, and you see that the icon has actually changed. This is what the original one looks like with the brown icon. This is now the new 6.9 icon here. So that's a way of being able to change from one type of session to another, from one type of audio format to another. Till next time, hope that helps you. Take care and happy Pro Toolsing. Cheers, Jason.